Okay, part 7 of launching a new coaching offer with ads. The goal was to spend $50K in a 3-week period, and I'm going to document the results. So today is the day. Later on today, we're going to open up the cart and we're going to do the first sell. So it's a free 11-day program / event. Today is day 5, and today is the day that we are going to open the cart. So I'm based in Dubai and our clients are based in the US. So we're getting like the final things done this morning, but yesterday we sent everything through to them again and everything's pretty much good to go. Sales pages there, integrations, everything's done. Now we're just kind of like waiting for it to happen, which is cool. I'm excited. Also, honestly, a little bit nervous just because, we're changing up slightly the sales process. We're changing up the offer. So this is a new coaching offer that we haven't launched before. So it could go multiple ways, but usually a new offer slaps and it goes great. And it's like, oh, wow, like we've just hit a grand slam home run new offer, or it can flop a little bit. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. I just run through kind of like the numbers, and then I'm also going to do some like projections on what I think could happen based on the previous data with this client. So we finalized the ads. These are the registration ads that we were basically running to get people registered for the event. You can see we spent $48K, 6,600 leads, cost per lead is $7.34. Again, I've talked about this a bit higher than what we wanted, but considering the competitiveness of this niche that we're marketing to, it's not too bad. I actually looked at the account and I was kind of like on maximum, and for whatever reason, the amount is lower. I don't know if like Facebook has corrected itself, but every single day I was going into this spreadsheet and filling out the ad data. So there's probably just been a correction on Facebook's part. So we've actually spent a couple of grand less than what I projected. So the ad manager right now is saying 46K in spend, 6,400 leads, and a cost per lead of $7.21. So we're in a slightly better scenario. I've kind of talked through the campaigns and what happened during us running the registration ads, so I won't talk about that too much today. Basically, what's happening right now, we do have one little campaign still running that is getting people registered for the event, even though we're on day 5. I'm going to shut this off soon. Usually what happens is after we do like a live event or a challenge like this, we still run the ads for a few days into it. Because sometimes when someone registers for an event and maybe they're like 2 days late, if they go into the Facebook group, for example, and they see all the energy and people posting and people saying, oh my gosh, like day 1 and day 2 was amazing, that adds a lot of social proof to it. So therefore, they're more likely to go and watch the replay. Versus sometimes someone can register for the event before the event happens and they just talk themselves out of it. They're like, I don't know if I'm going to gain anything from this event. Is it too good to be true? What am I going to learn? Have I heard it all before? Is it a scam? Blah, 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 right? All the common objections that people have before an event happens. And they could just be like, nah, I'm not going to attend. But if they come in and they can see already proof that it's actually good, people are getting value, people are getting breakthroughs, and people are loving it, then they're like, oh, damn, like this is legit. I need to go and catch up on day 1 and day 2. So that's kind of like the thought process behind it. Obviously, we don't spend, a big percentage of the budget. We want people to go through the whole process, but we have found that that can still get some decent registrants. So that's kind of like what we're still doing right here. We do have some reminder ads running. So basically, I'll just give you a breakdown of these ads inside. So we have this campaign, which spent the most. This was basically once people registered before the event happened, we retargeted them and been like, hey, the event starts on this date. Click here to join the Facebook group. And we just kind of like continue to retarget them to be like, hey, join the group, join the group, join the group. And I think we have like if we go back up here, I think we have like a 80%, and I don't know if that is actually updated, but before the event happened, we had an 80% join rate for the group, which is pretty good. So 80% of the people who registered joined the Facebook group. So that's pretty strong. And obviously the more people that join the group, the more likely to engage and obviously purchase. So that's this one. This one was just, we ran for the day it started. So for the first couple of days of the event, we just retargeted the same people who had already registered, being like, hey, the event started, blah, 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 right? Just loads of retargeting ads. Just we want to show up as many times on the newsfeed, being like, it started, join the group, live session today. And then on top of that, we run individual campaigns for each day. So this is day 1, this is day 3, and this is day 5, because those are when the live sessions happened. Day 2 and day 4, we had a pre-recorded video go out, so we didn't bother retargeting for that. But you can see, we just basically retargeted, hey, day 1 is starting today. This is what you're going to learn. Join the group, right? Day 3, same thing. Day 3 is starting later today. This is what you're going to learn. Join the group. And today is day 5, which you can see is spent 2 cents because we're pretty early on in the American day. So yeah, my goal was to kind of spend about $1,000 on these ads. So we're going to hit that pretty much, but obviously that's simple to do. You just budget. We're not obviously looking for any type of return on these ads. One thing I will say though is that the frequency is quite low. So I wouldn't mind spending more and getting a higher frequency because I want to show up in their newsfeed like every single time they log in. So that's the retargeting ads. I wanted to kind of do some projections now on what I think could happen later today when we do the sell. Obviously, we're going to open the cart for like a week. So we've got all week to kind of sell to them. And we've got 5 days left after this to continue to, 6 days left to continue to sell. But obviously, the first day that you sell, that's where you're going to see like that huge spike in sales. So yeah. Like I said at the start of the video, I'm a little bit nervous because we're selling this in a new way. And then also it's a new offer that we haven't sold before. Another thing that we need to think about is also this isn't necessarily a money offer. I want to keep confidentiality of like client and stuff. So I don't want to go into the offer too much, but it's like marketing to a business-related niche, a competitive one, so a very popular one in the online marketing industry. But it's not necessarily, hey, we're going to help you grow your business and make more money. It's more of it's like something else. It's like more of a softer offer. Like the promise isn't, hey, join this program and make loads of money. So even though we are marketing to like wannabe business owners in a specific niche / already current business owners in that niche, it's not a direct money-making offer. Even though, again, like a result of the work that you do, you will make more money. But again, it's not like hey, this is how you get clients. We're going to teach you how to do that. So bearing in mind that as well, it can kind of go 2 ways. Number one, because it's not a money-making offer directly, you would assume that the conversions are going to be slightly lower than what we used to. Because with this client, typically we have sold the, hey, we're going to help you grow your business offer. And our conversions have been good, but you would assume because it's not directly ROI related, this offer conversions are going to go down. But at the same time, the offer there's less competition for this type of offer for sure. Because, hey, we're going to help you grow your business type of offer for specific niches is really competitive. So you would maybe say, oh yeah, but like because that offer is really competitive, maybe the conversions aren't as high as they could be. So because this is less competitive, maybe it'll be higher. I think it's going to be a little bit lower because of the reasons I've just mentioned. So I basically looked at the different campaigns that we've run similar to this for this client, and I've looked at like the average conversion rate. So if we look at, I think I can show you the sheet. So these are the last few launches that we've done for this client. You can see June, September, Feb, June, and you can see that we've cranked up the ad spend every single time. And you can see the overall numbers on the right-hand side here. We've only spent $50K on ads this time because, again, it's a new offer. We're testing it. We're selling it in a slightly different way. So you can't really take these conversion rates as that's exactly what's going to happen. But it gives you kind of like an idea of what we would typically experience. So I've taken like the overall numbers and taken the averages of that. So you can see, main highlights has been we have a lead conversion rate of 1.26%. So that's not just people who showed up live. That's just people who registered for the free event. We convert, and this is just ads, by the way. It doesn't count organic, at just 1.26%. We've collected $1 million in cash on like the first day or like the first week before the cart closes. So we've done over $1 million in cash collected. Total revenue though with the payment plans is 2.2, and we spent 330K. So you can see that the revenue profit is, that should be a lot higher than that. And then, oh yeah, that makes sense. So, oh, that's the cash profit. I'm so confused. I'm looking at like, what is happening? Okay. This is the cash profit. Take away the like cash, take away ad spend, revenue, take away ad spend. I was so confused back then. I was like, what? I'm going to have to like stop the video. Anyway, so you can see on average here, we've got a 3 ROAS and a 6.8 ROAS. So if we look at the numbers then, so this is kind of like our average that I've got in the top right. A cash ROAS of 3, a revenue ROAS of 6.8, which is, don't want to toot my own horn, but pretty fucking incredible when you spent multiple 6 figures in ads. To get a 3.27 on average cash profit on like day one is pretty nuts. And then revenue ROAS is 6.8. So if we look at those numbers and we project them onto the spend that we have here, you can see that we've done the ad spend. So we would typically get a 159K cash collected, a 330K, 32K revenue. So it would mean that we'd profit about 100 grand cash collected on kind of like day one / week one / month one. And then a total revenue profit of like 280K with payment plans coming in. Obviously, not all the payment plans are going to come in. You're going to have a few refunds. People will just refuse to pay the payment plan. So it'll be a little bit less than that. But these guys have a pretty good payment plan collection rate. And also they work with a company that handles failed payments and missed payments, and they're pretty good. So the payment plan completion rate has gone up a lot since using that company, which is cool. So that's kind of what I would project based on the averages. Again, I don't know, maybe I'm just being negative and I'm trying to like protect myself from failing because I'm doing a video on it. But I don't think we're going to see those conversions. Maybe I should just start like manifesting it and being more positive. But, I don't know. Like I'll be honest, I'll be fucking buzzing if by the end of next week we've collected over 150 grand in cash. That would be awesome. Will it happen? I don't know. So, and there's a few reasons why, which I'll explain in a second. So I'm looking at a more realistic view. If we go at a 2 cash ROAS and a 4 revenue ROAS, because what we've typically found is that we collect about half the cash up front of the total revenue. So usually, if we generate 100K in cash, typically there'll be about another 100K in payment plans to come in. It's kind of usually double. It's just the way it works for this client that we've found on average. So I'm going to say a 2 cash collected and a 4 revenue ROAS. So that would be 97 grand cash collected and a revenue ROAS 195, which would mean about a 50K profit, 48K cash profit and 150K revenue profit, there or thereabouts. Again, it's all right. These guys have a decent size organic following as well, so they'll make a ton more money through their organic, but obviously and we help them with all of that, but obviously this series is just mainly about the ads. So I'd say that's a more realistic target. If you were to offer me this now, the 2 and the 4, I think I would take it. I think I would snap your hands off. I don't know why I'm feeling a bit negative. I don't know whether it's just because, it's the day of the launch and maybe I'm just feeling it a little bit for my clients. One of the reasons why I think that this type of cash is going to be challenging to get is the way that we've structured the offer this time, which I'm not super happy with. And I think, I'm reflecting on this today. If I had the time again, when the client first initially suggested this, I think I would push back on them to not do it this way. But right now, we're on day of the launch. Like, we're going to drop the offer today. The client is in the US, so they're going to wake up. They go live at 9 a.m. PST or like LA time. So the morning of us dropping the offer, my client is already a little bit, I don't want to say nervous, but he's not feeling the pressure. I don't know. But at the end of the day, we've spent a lot of money and he's selling and he wants to make sure that he does it well. What I don't want to do then is kind of like an hour before he's supposed to go live for the final day or day 5 where he's going to sell. I don't want to start chucking like, oh, let's change the offer, let's change the pricing at him, because I think will just mess with his head. I want him to go into that call feeling very calm, feeling very confident, feeling very like secure in what he's doing. I don't want to start throwing like variables at him like an hour before he goes live. I want him to feel very good and confident in it. So yeah, if I had my time again, I'd probably push back. I've been debating today so far for me. Should I go and speak to him about it? Should I mention it to him? Or should I just leave it and just let him like do the best he can rather than kind of like mess with his head a little bit? I don't know. And I don't know the right answer. I don't know what will be the right answer. I think I'm going to speak to him later after it. But anyway, the point is that we've decided on the price. So it's like a $3,000 offer. So it's going to be $2,997. But on day 1, we're going to release also a payment plan. So there's 2 payment options. You can either pay in full for $2,997, or you can pay over 12 months, which is $299. This is a lot longer than what we would typically do. Typically, for the previous offers for this client, we've done pay in full, or we've had I think we've had a free pay or a 6 pay. So my issue with this is that the 12 pay straight from the off is very low in terms of the payment, so $299. And I think just having these two, the contrast between paying $3,000 and $299, I feel like this is a very enticing offer. Because over 12 months, you're only going to pay $500 more for the same thing. And I feel like that's a very good payment plan to offer. And I'm worried that so many people are just going to go for the $299. Now, obviously, that means that more people will probably convert than if we didn't have the 12-month payment plan. But what I think I would have preferred was to have a $3,000 offer, then maybe like a 3-month payment plan of like $1,000 a month for 3 months, or even a 6-month one where it's like at least like $500 or $600 a month for 6 months. And then towards the end of the launch, like the last couple of days, introduce like the 12 pay. So like all the people with more cash up front, they would have paid more. And then we introduced the 12 pay later on in the launch for the people who are like a little bit tight or a little bit worried, or they just need a bit more security. Launching with a 12 pay straight from the off, I feel like a lot of people that we could have maybe got to pay $3,000 are just going to default to this because it's a really good offer. There are extra benefits when you join the full pay. Like there's an extra like mastermind and stuff. So it's a slightly different offer in terms of they get like an extra benefit, but I still feel like I'm a little bit worried that the payment plan is so low, it's just going to attract too many people. And that's a problem because the cash collected, I feel like, is going to be a lot lower. Like I would, instead of like the cash being half of what the revenue is, I feel like now the cash is going to be maybe like 4 or 5 times less. So we could do like a 1 ROAS and a 5 ROAS, for example. And that's not good because you obviously want to collect the cash up front. But from like a marketing, like an advertising point of view, I'm worried that we're not going to make the cash back, right? If let's say, for example, and I know this is like an extreme scenario, but let's say out of the leads, the 6,600 leads, we convert 0.0, let's even do 1.5, right? And that's pretty strong. We convert 1.5% of the leads. It means we're going to get 100 customers. Now, again, extreme scenario, but if those people buy $299, that means we're only going to generate $29,000 in cash. Now, obviously, overall, it's going to be like $358,000, right? So that's good. You spend $50,000, you generate $350,000 in revenue. That's cool. Obviously, not all of it will come in. Payment plans will cancel, blah, blah, blah. But again, it's still, you're going to end up with a decent amount of profit there. But the cash up front is bad. Now, again, it doesn't, as long as, the problem with clients sometimes, they can just see the immediate return and they're like, oh, it didn't work. Whereas like on these days, on these launches where we were getting like a free X return on cash, like that's fucking awesome. And they're just super happy with everything. This isn't a great result for us if we don't make, profit on like day one, week one, month one. Obviously, even though this is good. And then from an even more selfish point of view, our deal is structured where we get paid more on the cash collected. So from a personal, selfish point of view, this isn't a good result for our company financially. I want to get as much cash collected up front because that's going to increase the amount that I get paid from doing this launch. And most of our money is made from the profit split, not the retainer that they give us, because the retainer that these clients pay us is really, really small. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm really concerned about. And, like I said, I was thinking about messaging the client and talking to him about it today. But like, I was trying to assess, am I thinking about talking to him about it because purely selfish reasons of, I want to get paid more, so I don't want you to give a 12-month payment plan? Or is it actually not having the 12-month payment plan? Is that a better business decision for them generally? I believe it is, right? Because obviously, I think that they can get a lot more cash collected up front if they don't introduce a 12 pay straight away. But it obviously conveniently really aligns with the amount of money that goes in my bank account. So it's also like, if I was to do it, I'd have to like make sure I'm framing it in a non-selfish way almost, which, yeah, I mean, I have a great relationship with these guys. We've been working with each other now for like nearly 3.5 years, which is fucking nuts as well. So we have a great relationship. So they probably wouldn't think of it like that. But I think because it was like a new offer, they were a little bit worried about the conversions, a little bit how I am. So I think they just felt from like a security point of view, or if we just offer a 12 pay up front, then people will have less resistance to it, which is true. But, if if I'm looking at just purely at the cash return, it means that every customer is only worth $300. And it's kind of hard to get a return on your money when you're running ads if your value of a customer is $300 to like an event like this, right? If we're doing like, it's not a webinar, but register for an event, sell at the event, sell a course. If you're only selling a course of $300, very difficult to make money, which, again, I know this is a super extreme example. Obviously, not every single person is going to go for the payment plan, right? There's obviously going to be people that pay the free K, but yeah, I don't know, looking at it just on the sales page where we have like 2997 and 299, it just looks like such a big contrast to me that people are just going to go, because it's only $500 more and it's 12 months away as well. It's not like $500 over like 3 months, $500 over 6 months. It's $500 over 12 months. So, I mean, let's do some math, shall we? Because this video is not long enough. 500 divided by 12, it's like an extra $40 a month that they would pay. For some people, that would be like a really good deal. It's not that much when you break it down on that. What's that, like a meal out for one? So meal out for two, depending on where you are. Maybe not in Dubai, where I am, but yeah, anyway, they're my thoughts. I don't know if this is interesting. I've kind of just like brain farted out onto the video. I don't know if this is even going to be like relatable for anyone watching this, but this is kind of like the stuff that goes on in my head when I'm kind of like projecting, okay, like how could this go? So, we'll see. Obviously, I'm confident in the end we're going to make money for the client, but it's just like how much cash up front, how much revenue. Is it going to be I just don't want it to disappear, because we've done pretty well in the previous launches. You know, you can go back and see the other sheet that I shared with like all the different results. Like, it's great what we've done for them. And I don't know, I got almost a negative feeling about this one, and I don't want them to just compare this to the last stuff and be like, oh, what happened? Because, you know, there's lots of different variables that have gone on. But yeah, anyway, thanks for listening to my ad ramble. And yeah, I will, like I said, today's the day we're going to start the sale. So I'll probably do maybe like 2 more videos in this series. Maybe I'll do one like halfway through this week. So maybe I'll film one on Friday and show you kind of the first 2 to 3 days, or first, like 3-4 days. 3 days of the sales and see where we sit. And we'll see if we can kind of match this ROAS, or it could go to shit and I could look very stupid and look very bad doing a series like this. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it won't be like that. Hopefully it'll be good. I'll probably film another video at the end of this week, and then I'll film another video the week after when all the results are in, all the cash is collected, and I'll give you guys a review.